Welcome, everyone, to a Monday edition of Weekly Games Chat. I'm your host, Chris, as always joined by my co-host, Sean.
They don't know that, Chris. Hello, people. How you doing?
It's your fault. I want everyone to know it's your fault.
It's Wednesday.
And
when
Slate's
they hear
fault.
this, it's Wednesday. They don't know it's Monday.
And John.
Why do I have to get text messages from work
Now?
right before you hit record? Why?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I just don't know, John. I'm sorry.
Okay, though. I'm okay.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. What I meant to say was...
So, yeah.
What?
It's Monday.
It's not Monday.
Because someone...
Jesus, why are you doing this?
Because someone...
This is so unprofessional.
Someone has to go to a concert tomorrow.
Crash into me, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's your Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, margarita night. Woohoo!
It's too much!
And what? Let's go back to the future or some other time traveling thing on this. By the time you hear this, I will already have went to go to the concert on Tuesday, the day we normally record on, but now you know it's Monday, but it already happened, so it's Wednesday.
On a Wednesday.
So, yeah, there's no, just say hey.
Hey.
How you doing?
How are you doing?
It's good to see you.
It's good to see you.
Slow down.
Slow down. It's been an interesting week.
Well met.
So many things.
Yeah.
Not really.
Well,
I guess I gotta get it out of the way.
what are you doing?
We don't need
I
it.
saw the thing
We don't need it.
that everyone saw.
I saw it too, and I liked it. You didn't. Move on.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't hate it. It was just one, like, Daniel today, right? Betty's Daniel.
Okay.
Charming boy. Sweet
yeah.
boy, right?
Sure.
He messaged me at work and he goes, so did you see Lion King? I was like, yep. And he said, what'd you think? And I said, it'll be a movie that you watch once. And then in the future, when anyone says, do you want to watch The Lion King? You will both understand that they mean the 1994 film, because that's basically what it is. It's just like, it's a film, but when you think of The Lion King, you're going to think of the classic one, because that film is just so much better than this one.
What if you are going to think of the classic one? What if Tinley, for example, will think of this one?
Whenever Tinley wants to watch Beauty and the Beast, which one does she want to watch?
The new one.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That's possible.
Well, and not even that. I'm a direct contradiction to you, because as we left, we were on the highway going home, and we said, when are we going to watch this movie again? Like, we enjoyed it. So that's why it's really hard for myself to put anything out there. You know, I'll say, like, when we talk, I'll say, hey, I saw X movie. And you'll say, how was it? I'll be like, it was all right. It's pretty good. Or I loved it. Or it could have been better. Yeah. And that's about all I go with it. That's just how I am. Mm. I like the movie. My family, we all went together. We loved it. And we'll watch it again. Now I'm grateful that I was able to, be alive when the first movie came out. And that movie it's a great, if you're into Disney cartoon movies.
Yeah.
The OG Lion King's fantastic. I'm excited that they have this announcement of live movies where they basically remade the stories, added some wrinkles. Some of them hit, some of them miss. And they still capture the original, all the things of the original movies. And like I said, you'll disagree, but I'm telling you, I had no problems with it. I
mean, I think it's designed to do one thing. It's designed to be a nostalgia trip. And if that's what you go in looking for, I don't think it's hard to be, or I think it's very hard to be upset, because like even here, like I went back in preparation of seeing this, I've rewatched Lion King, and I mean, like James Earl Jones' part in this movie is verbatim, line for line. I was like, why did they re-record him? They didn't need to, because like they used the exact same lines from the original, and that's fine. But I was like, there was, yeah, you could tell he was a lot older, which was a little weird. But I expect that. I'm like, guys like pushing 90 now,
20 years older,
yeah,
isn't it 20 years or something like that?
I don't know. There's just certain parts of it, like where I saw opportunity for it to go more, and it didn't. And the main part was probably Scar. Like, I actually liked, what was his name? Chitwell Ejiofor. I think that's how you say it. I'm probably butchering it.
Probably
but
not.
everyone else would.
Surprisingly, you probably got that spot on, and we're just like, we have no idea what you're talking about.
But
so it's probably right.
Him as Scar is actually really good, and I was like, man, there's a part where they just go and they delve into him more, and this gets to be its own cool, unique thing. Because, like, you know, at its core, Lion King is kind of like Hamlet light. I've always said, you know, it's
Hamlet light.
Yeah, the king dies and is killed by the uncle.
Throw up in my mouth.
It killed by the uncle, but you don't have the other part of Hamlet where everyone else dies, right? But it's obviously inspired by that Shakespearean tone. But like, you could go down an interesting path with him and make that very interesting, but they kind of just regulate him to being what he was before.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
Why would they go down an unnecessary path?
I guess
they show that he's an evil, jealous brother who is so mad at his brother and the fact that he's not a king or won't be the king of the lions that he kills his brother and tells the brother's son to run away.
Yeah.
Forever. Here's the thing, and it's funny that you thought Scar was good.
Except for his song. That was bad.
Well, in the most recent, I guess Aladdin was before this.
Yeah.
I found that Jafar in that movie was worse than Scar in this movie. But I feel like both villains weren't cast in the same light that they were in the animation or the animated versions. And I don't know why.
It's like they're much more, the villains of Disney in this period, especially, they're over the top, and that's what makes them really good villains, right?
When?
Like
in the 90s,
like whether you're talking about Ursula, Gaston, Jafar, or Scar, like especially, I know, well, Jafar doesn't have a song, but the other three do, right? And they're very over the top in their delivery, and it's on purpose because it works really well for animation. You know, especially like when you got good animators like they are, where they show that. But that's not how they played these characters here. They're more of like just classic sinister people lurking in the background, you know? But I thought his was better just because of some of the speeches, right? Compared to Jafar that he's like given, whether it's like the classic one with the mouse at the beginning or just later on when he's talking with Simba. At times you're like, I actually think him went over a little bit better than Jeremy Irons, but then he starts to sing, or not really sing. It's more of it's kind of like a spoken word thing, right? That's
it's almost
the best way to say
a spoken word.
It's really weird,
but with a musical undertone, kind of. It's, I don't know. I enjoyed this film a lot, and I went into it. You just know how Disney have kind of done these live action movies. They've basically carbon copied a lot of the animated movies and then added a hip, updated something or another to it. I don't know, whether it be a new song, like going back to Aladdin, that song that Jasmine sang that was supposed to be like you said, the
Frozen moment.
The Frozen moment. It did fall flat to me.
This one fell flat too because it just didn't. Like in this one, it's a Beyonce song, and it's not one she actually performs. It's just played in the background during that part where Simba's kind of like traveling back, right?
Yeah, and
it just doesn't fit. It's like it sounds like a Beyonce song, right? You know, that production and style.
It's probably in her contract,
but like, you know, I'm sure it is. But you know, it doesn't fit because it doesn't sound like something that Tim Rice or Elton John made. Which is who made this score. And you have this one song that is so different. It just doesn't flow in. Well, it would have been better probably if they'd done a thing like where they posted
Tim Rice and Elton John did the score.
Yes. Yeah. It's the only one of those classic period there, right? Because I know people like Hunchback and things that came later, but to me, that is the like golden part of this era.
Are you talking about
Little Mermaid?
Are you talking about the soundtrack?
Yes. Yeah, okay. All the songs are there. Hans Zimmer did the actual score as far as the music and the background.
Did he do it for this?
He did. Yes. He re-recorded everything for them. And Ellen did a new song too. And I actually liked the Ellen song that was played in the credits. That was fine.
My wife.
Your wife.
Sure.
She wished that, some kind of way Elton could have sang "Can You Feel the Love Tonight?"
Right.
in the movie. I told her, I said, well, I mean, think about it. It's not
that didn't go over well for me too.
The remixes of the songs, like the Hakuna Matatas and things like that, they're a little different. And even Tinley, who's very familiar with the original OG Hakuna Matata, after it was done, she was like, I like that one better, but this movie's good. So I mean, I think she even knew things were different, but I mean, she knew it was different because it's different. You know what I mean? Like I said, Chris, I'm not going to tell you didn't like the movie because I think you said it was all right, but our takes are just different. I don't have as many problems with it as you, but
it'd be like a 6.5 out of 10 for me.
I'm not going to give it a Richard because I'll watch it again. I like it. I love Disney stuff. I love Disney. They get all my money.
And I'll say this, I thought I was wondering if I was by myself, right? And that theater, I went to the very first show in IMAX, so it was hardcore in there, and it was about near sold out. The only other time that's happened this year when I've gone has been, Avengers. And there was no claps. The first laugh didn't really come until Timon and Pumbaa show up. I mean, not to say John Oliver actually I liked, and Eric Andre as the hyenas.
I don't like when you name drop, Chris.
But like, it's just one of those things where for the first hour it is shot by shot, and really the only compelling part to me in that first hour was probably the kids. I actually thought the kids were a lot better. The kid versions of the lines were a lot better than the adults.
Let's say that. All right, did you clap during the first time you saw the first hour of the animated cartoon?
No, that was in '95. But
it doesn't. I'm just saying, there's nothing to clap about.
I put it this way:
a kid
it's
gets
very
trapped
weird.
into an elephant graveyard, chased by hyenas, and watches his dad die.
I'm talking about like at the end, like people. I saw people there. There was a family that came in matching Lion King shirts. I saw people with Lion King tattoos clearly visible, and I mean, like when we got up and left, I could tell the mood of the theater, and it was more of like, well, that was a thing, and then we kind of just all went home. And went back on our lives versus, of course, you remember Endgame, standing ovations. And that happens with a lot of things.
Endgame?
Yeah, people were going ape at the end of that.
That movie was
well, speaking of Endgame,
it's number one now.
It beat out Pocahontas. I mean, Dances with Wolves. I mean, Avatar.
Yes.
For the number one spot in the world of all time.
I think James Cameron's okay. He's probably somewhere fine. Just counting money. Like, that's fine. Got Titanic too.
Yeah. You do that.
You know what's weird is that it is number one, but it's not number one in America all the time.
Because it's not.
And I don't think anything.
It's clearly not as good as the book.
What's the number one?
Force Awakens, which is like mind blowing when you think.
Talk about a remake.
Yeah.
No, that's not mind blowing because. That's not mind blowing because people thought that movie was not going to be a hot pile of garbage.
But it's like weird because when you think about it.
Wait, no.
When the movie comes out this fall.
You're thinking of Last Jedi.
I'm thinking of Last Jedi. Force Awakens. J.J. Abrams was my boy. The one name I will name drop.
What's funny is I was thinking like, okay, so that's number one all time in the U.S. I was like, I don't think this movie will even have a shot of being number one in the world, let alone number one in the U.S. For this next one. So I think if anything, it speaks to how much times have changed, right? Like Marvel is king and it's undisputed now, I think.
Jeez.
So
Marvel.
You do realize Disney just released Toy Story 4, right? They're doing fine.
Oh no, I'm not talking.
I thought you were saying they weren't kings. I was like,
no. I'm saying like Star Wars was obviously king in 2015 in terms of attention to fanboys, and now it's obviously Marvel.
I'm dumb.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm playing Cuphead.
You are.
I'm about how many episodes too late? It's fantastic.
You're about a month after the re-release.
We're going to do a new show called Sean finally listens to Chris.
A friend of the show's brother, biker Daryl.
The sad part? I think Jeff was on the episode where we talked about Cuphead.
He probably was.
Yeah.
But yeah, friend of the show, Jeff's brother, biker Daryl. He got him a Nintendo Switch recently. And he talked about how he couldn't wait to play Cuphead on it. And I was like, dude, Cuphead on the Switch? And then this whole thing morphed into my purchase of Cuphead on the Nintendo Switch for $19.99 on the eShop. And,
Microsoft thanks you.
That game runs fantastic on the Nintendo Switch. It's the hardest game that punishes you, but you love every second of it.
How does it look?
It looks, what do you mean?
I'm asking how it looks on the Switch.
It looks fantastic.
No,
Interesting.
Not as good as it does on the Xbox One X.
Interesting.
I don't believe that's a true statement.
Isn't it interesting that a game like that can run so well on the Switch?
Yeah. Well, this is when Chris is gonna start talking about how games are different and graphics and engines. And
I'm just
stuff.
talking about Bloodstained. That's all.
Oh, so that was just a you thing.
That's a me thing.
Yeah. I still
It's
wonder
amazing what happens when you have a competent studio behind a title, right?
Are you calling Microsoft Studios a competent studio?
Actually, it's not Microsoft Studios. They just produced.
Yeah. Who are you calling the studio? The guys who studioed it?
Yeah. I can't remember their name right now.
The guys who studioed it. Yeah.
That's some good studioing you're doing right there.
That's some good stuff there, man. Also been really back into comedians in cars getting coffee on the Netflix.
I started watching. Man, that Seth Rogen one was good.
Dude.
The Eddie Murphy one, I was
fantastic.
Like, the fact that he got Eddie Murphy to do that show, that's a big deal.
I was just trying to see if, like Eddie Murphy's, he's so famous. Like I know you're like, no crap. But he's been away from the spotlight for a while, right? He hasn't done comedy. You haven't really heard of an Eddie Murphy movie recently. Mm-hmm. But he's one of those faces, as soon as you see him, you're like, Eddie freaking Murphy. So Bobby walks in and I'm like, hey, you know who that is? She's like, it's Eddie Murphy. And I was like, who's the other guy? It's Jerry Seinfeld. She's like, I don't know.
It's like two of the richest people out there in entertainment.
Like, oh, but that show is so cool. I love the entire production of that show. So
you gotta give Seinfeld credit because like people have been begging him to do TV forever. And that is just a genius idea for him to do a show that is no more than 15 minutes and literally allows him to do the one or three things he likes doing, right? Talking to our comedians, getting in fancy cars, and drinking coffee. Those are like, he's fine. Short of him like actually going to a comedy club. Yeah. I think like that would be the only art thing he maybe would include because he doesn't really like doing production stuff and he hates Hollywood. So it makes sense.
What have you been up to, Johnny Bear? Is your TV situation remedied?
Why do you think I'm not talking?
That's true.
I have no form of entertainment to talk about with anyone.
When did I talk to you? Like about, it was real recent when you were.
I talked to you Friday.
And you still didn't have the TV.
Right.
That's right.
So tomorrow is the day that apparently somebody is coming down from Gwinnett County. That's North Atlanta, ladies and gentlemen. About 2 hours away from here to fix the TV between the hours of 10 a.m. and 3 p.m.
Dear Lord.
I tried, I was on my way out, I think it was Thursday or something like that, to pick up lunch for work. Mm-hmm. And I'm about to park. I'm minutes away from parking and the phone rings. And I know who it is. They're trying to schedule an appointment.
They're trying to do what?
They're trying to schedule an appointment.
That middle word's getting they're trying to
schedule.
I'm not doing this.
Just say schedule.
Just say schedule.
I don't even remember why I said schedule.
All right.
Schedule. Let me try to do it.
Okay.
Let's see.
You know the number. They're trying to
schedule
that wasn't bad.
An appointment for Monday.
Yeah.
Cute.
Yeah.
So I park. I hear the message. They leave a number. I call them back, and I call them back 10 times throughout the day.
10?
Leaving messages 3 times. I finally got a hold of somebody the very next day, and they said they can't come out there on Monday because I didn't call them back.
Oh, I bet you felt great.
The reviews for this place are not good.
Oh no.
I'm sorry.
So
good luck.
Oh no.
I have every intention. I'm going to be working from home tomorrow, inconveniencing everybody at work. I mean, if there was a day that it was inconvenient for me to work from home, it would be tomorrow.
And you're doing it.
And I have to do it.
Hey,
I ain't got no choice.
So would you say you have angst about the guy getting the job done?
I do have angst.
Never.
I feel like he's simply not going to show up.
Never good to have angst.
I feel like he's not going to show up, and I can just flush my day down the crap.
Well, what's going to happen if he doesn't bring like the replacement LCD?
Well, I sent the office the pictures of what the screen looks like. Mm-hmm. I told them what I think is the problem, so we'll see. Hopefully he's got the truck with components and the things he needs to fix it.
Hopefully.
I like a truck of components.
If he has to come back another day, I'm going to commit suicide.
Jeez, don't do that.
Don't do that.
That's bad.
Or even worse, sleep on Chris's couch and watch TV.
Or
I did that this weekend.
what movie? Well, Fight Club. He tried to, and he didn't.
Right. I apologize. I shouldn't have said that.
No, it was John. Hey,
it's tough, man. It's been tough. And plus,
hey, Chris does have a new couch still.
Plus, I spent $900 last week on my car, and last night my AC went out in my house. We live in Georgia, ladies and gentlemen. It's hot as heat.
Why? What? It's possible.
My balls are sweating.
Look, it's possible.
Middle of the night, 2 a.m.
with my limited knowledge of ACs for homes, it's possible that because of the
it froze.
It froze. You got to let it thaw out.
Apparently, I mean, we had family over Saturday, and so Clarissa cranked it down to 75, which she always does. My wife,
your wife,
and so it looked like maybe the AC was working a little hard. I don't know. In Georgia,
do you change the filters frequently?
Yeah, I changed it last week.
Did you go up to the attic to look at where the unit is to make sure your water wasn't clogged that drains out of the system?
It's frozen on the pipe on the coil
You're
outside.
About, okay, does outside mean upstairs?
Outside means outside.
Yeah. So, all right.
You said the unit. I figured
you said unit.
I figured you just weren't sure where my AC unit was.
That's fine.
Oh, I know where your unit is.
But most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, that will not
between his legs.
That will not
what?
That will not deter us
not
bringing you world-class entertainment today, particularly when you hear
Speaking
of the
of-
game we're covering.
Speaking of world-class entertainment, I noticed the other day that they added. Sorry, I really did. They added Metal Gear Solid 5 to Games Pass, and I don't know why, but I said why not, and I clicked it, and then I started streaming it, and after I got past that crazy opening, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, where he falls
in
on the bed
hospital,
and things in his head. You're like, I don't want to play with Snake with a thing in his head.
And then there's a big flaming whale.
It's all kind of stuff.
And Psycho Man. Oh God. But once I got past that and Troy Baker shows up as old, Ocelot. And then I was like, that's right. This game, I forgot.
Kojima produced.
It's kind of like, like the kids from Narnia where like, you were king and all that. And then you went back through the wardrobe and you were a little kid again, right? And then they get summoned into Narnia like 5 years later. It felt like that. It was like, oh yeah, that's right. Narnia is freaking awesome.
23 minutes.
Do you remember when Narnia the movie was good?
I try not to.
Then it got not good.
Yeah, I try not to remember that.
The first one was so good.
Well, it's the best book.
It was okay.
Well,
And then
maybe
it just
besides
fell off.
The Boy and the Horse. Yeah,
We stopped. We stopped with the
I'm sorry that I read things. You read things.
I know, but
You can go to Harry Potter trivia with me next week.
Do you hear me talking about the Boy and the Horse?
I'm sorry. If I said
Your mom's
Prisoner of
box.
Azkaban, would that be okay?
Ladies and gentlemen,
fantastic,
bringing you world-class entertainment and world-class insults.
Anyways,
What are you doing?
but
I love when I say something
Not
to John.
talking about games.
No,
That's what I'm
John
doing.
makes this face when I throw a curveball, and he's like, "What do you mean? What am I doing? I'm doing what I'm doing." It's hilarious. I wish you could be here and see us more, people of the podcast world.
Jeez.
We love you. And now we're going to talk about a game that Chris played.
yeah, that I didn't know I was talking about until about 9 p.m. last night. Yeah.
Will you quit gently licking my arm, Penny?
No.
That same tongue has
she
touched
gave
Chris.
you guilt. She just gave you guilt. She's put her paw on
What
John.
is she doing? This is weird. Why would you do what you're doing?
She's like, I love
This
you.
is not okay.
Penny is getting in this podcast fast.
Ugh.
All right. Let's do some topicking about some topics.
Make note of the time for the listeners, Chris.
I do. I put it in there for them now.
24
you
minutes,
did. Yeah.
27 seconds.
24:27.
And topic. The topic is... Oh, wait. Hit the wrong thing.
This is what Chris looks like.
15
drunk with power.
15 seconds prior to that, I go, this is not the Outer Worlds game,
You
right?
put it in my head.
He goes, no, it's Outer Wilds.
Put it in my head.
Not to be confused with Outer Worlds. Two totally different games.
You put it in his head.
You put it in my head.
I did. In the orifice.
It's a very delicate head.
So, so I want to say up front, I'm going to do this one a little bit
Say
different.
it in the back too, baby.
Because I know the type of person that would play this game does not want things spoiled. Because it is one of those types of games.
So just go ahead and give your
you two are SOL because you showed up here today and we got to do a show. But
why were you? Oh,
but for anyone else, I will just say this: if you love space exploration, if you love certain elements from Majora's Mask, which maybe you can figure out by yourself, if you love kind of that idea of storytelling where the world itself is obtuse in its direction. It doesn't say, go do this now. It's more just go out there and figure it out and slowly piece it together over time. And if you like kind of cool things that have emotional moments in games, this is a game worth checking out. I highly recommend it. If you have Xbox, it's free if you got Games Pass right now. It's been free since it came out. That's why I played it. And highly recommend it. And I highly recommend that you try to not hear much about what it is. So,
well,
love you.
What if somebody thinks Majora's Mask is the scourge of the Zelda series?
Well, they're mistaken.
No, that would be Skyward Sword.
Yeah. And Twilight Princess.
Touche.
But I would just tell you, don't play this game. Just go play it, try it out, see if it's for you, and then maybe come back if it's not and hear what I thought and why. Otherwise,
are
just
you kind of giving a spoiler warning?
Yes, because I mean, like, I'm not going to spoil everything in this game, obviously, but I really do think
Too
this
soon?
is, kind of like how Gone Home is in the sense, like, where the less you know, the better.
Maybe you should just give it to Richard and we should go to the news.
Ooh, that would be the greatest thing we could do for the now.
Give Daddy some footage.
No, but
you say no.
I will just say,
Chris, put the game on.
yeah. Give me
But
Put on my cartoons.
I just want to see it while you talk, man.
I will just say right now.
Oh my gosh! I'm sorry. I saw that.
Seriously, go do this and then go play this game if you're interested. Then come back and maybe listen, and I think you'll understand clearly what I'm saying about this game. Otherwise, that was your complete spoiler warning.
Spoilers!
If you don't want to hear anything about this game, then you missed your shot. Because now I am going to talk about what this is.
Say one more time for him.
Spoilers. This is the spoiler. Well, not really spoilers, but
Spoilers.
plot summary version.
Not full out spoilers, but just spoilers.
Spoilers. Why did my voice go up?
It's first person. Is that too much?
It is in first person.
Is it
We can
PC
talk
only?
about that now. No, it's on Xbox. It's on PS4, I believe, too.
I could play this awesome looking Majora's Mask outer space game.
You could.
You're in the woods. Is that too much?
They actually look like, to me, the aliens in this game, your race of aliens. They look like the dudes from Oddworld, Abe's Odyssey. That's what they look like to me in a world.
But
with different ears. Like you can tell the ears are a little bit different, but they're similar. But yeah, Outer Wilds been getting a lot of buzz out there, and I was very thankful this game was on Games Pass because I don't think I would have done it regardless. And I was very surprised when I started streaming it, just how many people randomly, either listeners or people that had never listened to us, popped in on this one. This has been generating a lot of talk lately on the Twitchverse.
On the interwebs?
Yes, the worlds of Twitches.
At some point during this discussion, Chris, I'd like you to address your theories as to why this is generating such buzz.
I think it's.
No, you don't have to do it now. Just get to it. It's not immediately. Don't let me deflect from what you're trying to say at this moment.
So
let this conversation be fluid and
hey,
organic.
Bob, go back to your trees.
We need John.
Just make it a bird. If you mess up, just turn it into a bird.
Happy little accents. So Outer Wilds, as it's suggested by its art and kind of the fact that the word outer's in there, is a game about space. I didn't say that right. Let me say that again.
Overuse of the effects button.
I had to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, it's a game about space. Basically you play as this, I don't think they ever give him a name, but the idea is that you are the newest astronaut for this alien race, getting ready to go in space your first day. You know, you're launching off to see the stars and go explore various things. And, you know, right before you go to space, you go up to this observatory and talk to this professor dude. And when you come back, there's like a new artifact, which is a sculpture of a alien race that came before you called, I think they're called like the Namadi or something like that. And basically some weird stuff happens with that statue. And you kind of get the sense like, hey, there might be more going on to this than just simply going to space. But basically, you know, you have a couple of tutorials you could do in the basic world here. They're seeing this on screen right now, which kind of show you the different tools at your dispersal when you're in space. Obviously, you have your ship, but you also have your space suit, which will help you whether you're in low
space.
gravity or in zero Gs.
Kind of works like a spacesuit.
Yes. It's very spacey.
You should never fart.
See, Chris,
you
a
should never
spacesuit
fart in a spacesuit.
Yeah. You have
Should never do
things
that.
like you have a little probe that you can shoot out, and when you shoot it,
There's
Love
a
a
joke.
good probe.
There's a joke there.
Love a good probe.
the probe has a camera on it, so you can you can turn the camera and like take pictures of what's around you, so you can
Bet
get
you can.
GoPro,
you can
Richard
get an
edition.
It's really good for like if you're on a planet, because you know the planets aren't humongous, but they are decent sized, right?
Average.
I heard that before.
And you could shoot far off to get an idea of like, oh, there's a
Sean's head
there's a
exploded.
platform or something.
Sean's head is exploding.
There's also
There's
a
a
little
joke there.
gun you get that basically can zero in on different frequencies. So like you can hear other space, or astronauts, whatever, and where they are to get an idea of what they're up to. You can hear frequencies as far as like from different elements that are floating out in space or are being kind of low underlying that are being maybe put out by a planet for whatever reason. But like all of these basic tools are the ones you get at the very beginning of the game, and they, for the most part, are the only ones you're going to get towards the end. And there is one last one, which is basically allows you to take the text writings of this ancient civilization, the Namani, and interpret them so you can read what they're actually saying, right? That's it. That's all you have. And then it is go down to your spaceship, get in, and shoot off.
Yeah.
Some would say blast off.
I really did think John was going to say bus. And he didn't, so I had to. You're welcome, John.
And after that, like I remember I was on there and, Offset Collective, he frequents our Discord.
Who does?
Offset.
Oh, yeah. What
Yeah.
about Offset? TLC?
Not Offset, not Offset.
Not TLC? It's TLC.
Yeah. But I'm saying not Miko's Offset.
Oh,
You know,
I got you.
That'd be cool if he
Cardi
was.
B's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, they got that
See,
little
John,
baby.
Cardi B is
Speaking of Offset, you know what they've done lately?
Made a baby.
They
made a studio.
Oh.
they have built their own studio.
They did do that.
Studio.
Studio.
I have to admire that.
Bill
Let's
Collins?
just sit here and admire it for a second.
Yeah.
Do you got any admire music?
No.
Dang it. This would be a great time for admire music.
We're admiring right now.
Maybe next time.
Yeah.
Maybe
Sorry,
next
guys.
time they build a studio, we want to admire it.
So is it
gotta
possible?
do two
is it
before we add
possible?
music.
Is it possible for you to go forward without spoiling the game any more than we have at this point? Like, here's the bare bones, and
Yeah. So I would say without going,
let's just do mechanics. Let's do.
there's a big, okay. So you kind of like, I asked him though, I asked Offset, I was like, well, any advice where I should go first? And he was pretty much like, nah, there's no wrong answer in this.
Yeah.
It is one of those kind of games. It's like, go off. There's like about 7 planets and then kind of a couple of our entities that are in space.
Right.
Just fly off to one and see where it leads you, you know, and that's the first couple of hours in that game. You know, it's a lot of confusion. It's, you know, there's a couple of like, well, you could go here if you want to, but there is no general direction and there's no wrong direction given by the game, right? You know, it's go off and see what happens. And the unique thing is that, of course, it's still outer space. It's not been, you know, while it's been simplified in certain terms, it still acts very much like space in the sense that space is dangerous, space is lethal, and doing certain things has certain consequences. So, you know, it is very possible to die in this game. And that is a journey to itself. And that's where you start to go, huh, okay. And then something else eventually, when you've been exploring and you figure out how to not just die from stupidity. Like, I think the first time I died, I flew directly into that sun right there because I didn't think about the fact that
that's a crystal.
Yeah, that's a crystal now. It was a sun a second ago.
Okay.
Now we can skip
And
the
by
ads.
crystal, we
See,
don't
that
mean
sun right there.
We don't mean like a jewel.
Yeah. That's funny. But yeah, I accidentally flew into the sun because, I used the autopilot.
You thought it was Star Trek 4?
I used the autopilot and I turned it off and I didn't realize that I had set a path that in order to get to this planet was going to take me straight through a sun. So I died very quickly and burned up. But where it goes is after you get past that phase of just dying because you're figuring out controls and physics and what you have to remember. Like, I remember the first time I actually stepped off on the planet, I died because I didn't even think about the fact that, hey, there's no atmosphere on this planet. So I choked to death because that's what happens when you go outside, when you don't have a spacesuit on. Very deadly.
Turns out.
Neil and Buzz do not suggest that. I watched them. They were very careful to put on their spacesuits when they went out in the limb. But basically, once you get that down, there's a moment that is going to occur through your playthrough, and you start to gather that something else is going on here. Something that is not being explained clearly.
Yeah.
But is very clear that, you know, as you start to figure out, especially through text and conversations with other people, that this isn't just a normal space mission. This isn't just, you know, a game where you die and then you just respawn and restart because, you know, that's what happens, right? This is a game that slowly starts to introduce concepts to you. And once you start to explore some of those things, it starts going down a rabbit hole of a mystery that you want to solve and see where it leads you to. And I have to say, I was very surprised how enjoyable that journey quickly became. Because at first I wasn't sure if this game was going to be for me. But once I realized there was more to it than just kind of walking around doing basic space sim stuff. Because, you know, no offense to them, I've played games with space physics in there. You know, I've played Kerbal Space Program and things like that. And I really love that game. But that game is got so many options that if I want that realistic space sim of going to another planet, landing on it, and seeing if I can get back, it exists out there. So when you have this simplified version of it, I was like, was there really for me to do here? Right? It wasn't until I realized, oh, there is a story in this. And it's very much, like I said, very obtuse at the start, but as it starts to tell itself and you start to explore and you start to connect A to B and B to F, you know, jumping all over, you start to see, okay, yeah, there really is no wrong direction to start out or go to, because you're going to have to go to all these places eventually. You're going to have to go and figure out what is going on here. And you're probably going to have to come back to some of these places to get the full picture. It's a game that as you go on, you realize you could play this and just kind of do a little exploring and be done with it. and never really see what the full point of it is. But if you do for about 14 hours or so, you're going to find this thing where when you make breakthroughs, you feel so powerful. You feel like it's a true eureka moment.
Can I ask you what you mean by powerful? Do you mean empowered, or are you talking about a progression system?
No, I'm talking more like emotion. Like they are just powerful moments.
Yeah, you said that kind of Chris-like, so I was thrown by what you meant as well. Thank you for clearing that up, sir.
So,
hey, that's what I'm here for.
You said there are elemental ways for you to die. For example, you fly through a sun, you're going to naturally die. Are you fighting enemies? Is this simply a flying and walking simulator? And I don't mean that degradingly. I just mean,
I wouldn't call it a walking and flying simulator, but it is not a. There's no combat in the game.
Okay.
It's a puzzle. There's
puzzles.
No
way for you to die at the hands of an enemy.
No. Yeah, you can only die of your elements, basically, or something else. Actually, well, there is one, without saying too much, there is one kind of, I wouldn't call it a malignant entity, but there's a danger out there of a creature.
A malevolence.
Yeah.
Danger Will Robinson?
Kind of like,
Will Robinson?
Will Robinson?
Think of it as like when you're in sea, right? And a kraken comes out, something along those lines.
Really?
And, I'll say this: few games have given me like give me shock jump moments. This one actually gave me.
Wait, so this game's scary?
No, it was just like it shocked me. Like, and I have to give it credit. Like, it pulled it off, and the context of those, if you know. There's a particular thing from our world, right, that probably like exists in our world, but is not something that is well known, right? But I knew what it was.
Spoilery now?
I'm not trying.
We get you. We follow you.
Yeah,
I have no idea what he's talking about.
And it did something.
I don't either, but we're good.
It managed to do something that actually made me jump when it happened in the game, and I think it's a test.
Pop?
Yeah, it made me. It's a testament to the game designer, because you have that false sense of security that, like, well, there's no enemies in this game. You know, no one's shooting me. So when it happened, I was like, whoa, where did that come from? You know, it's a game that, like, maybe 3 or 4 hours in, I was like, this is all right. And then I started figuring certain things out and realizing how to utilize my time to the best of my abilities, and exploring these worlds. And these worlds are really unique. Some of them much more in ours. Like, there's a world where it's actually 2 planets or twins rotating around each other. And as you go through, you notice that sand, like, one is just a bunch of rocks and cliffs, right? And the other one is covered with sand. And this bridge forms between the two. And over the course of a playthrough, basically sand starts transferring from one to the other. And as that happens, it cuts off areas from one planet, the one that's just all rocks, from getting down to caves and getting to maybe like ruins or something. And on the other one, it slowly reveals what's underneath. So you have to kind of balance how you're doing things and understand, I'm working on a clock here. I need to get this done, or else, one, I might choke to death because I'm trapped and can't get out from the sand, and depending where I am. And 2, I need to get this done here so that when I can go over to the other planet when it's finally cleared of all the sand, right? There's another planet that kind of like in the sense of, I want to say like a Neptune or Mercury, where it's really primarily all water. Like, it's a bunch of gas out, like a huge atmosphere. And then you finally, when you land, it's probably 95% water, except these little pocket land masses that sometimes disappear because there's a lot of strong gravitational force pulling at this planet. So basically every 2 minutes, the water significantly goes up and then significantly goes down. And you have to.
I like the way he says significantly.
It was a struggle, but he got through it. You know what I mean?
You have to work to, basically, to get through certain areas, again, to the time of, what's going on with this planet. There's a place called the Dark Bramble, where it's like
That's
really,
what I call my butthole.
it kind of like, it almost looks like
Your butthole.
It looks like there used to be a planet there, but it blew up. And now there's just like, there's kind of like this rotten core with a haze in the middle.
See, that's what I call my.
It's like, it's very, it's very, it's very hazy in there. And
It
like,
is.
you
It's
have these,
very
as you're going through, you have like these bright lights and you have to kind of
That's only
figure out, you have to figure out how to navigate them safely.
All right.
There's things like that. And then on top of that, as you're going, you are not alone, completely alone in your journeys. There are other astronauts that are out there. They're unique because, and the way you find them is because they each play a musical instrument, and you can use the little, gun, like wavelength gun to kind of find out where they are. And then you just set a course in their direction. But it's just like, it's funny to like walk up and you'll see this dude that's on this planet and he's just camping, sitting in a hammock with a banjo in a spacesuit, just having a good day.
Hey, partner.
Yeah. So, and they're fun.
You
and
have
unique,
a pretty
especially
mouth.
as they provide good advice, because as you discover things, you can come back and be like, I found this. What do you think it is? And he might like, well, maybe it means this. And then, gives you a little bit of guidance there. But, over the course of the many hours, you just start to see again that these are all leading you down a path to a place, and you want to see where that journey is. And I think why, getting back to what you were saying, the reason why the Twitter, or I should say the Twitchverse, is talking so much about this game is that there are very few things that come out and get this level of attention right out the gate that have that emotional resonance and feel this unique. Like, I don't know of any other game that's been out this year or maybe the last couple of years that quite feels like it, because, as you said, you were like, is this a walking simulator? It's like, well, no, it's not. I mean, like, there's plenty of gameplay in this. There's a lot of, puzzle elements
I don't
that
mean
you're
it
going
that
in.
way. I just mean,
It's okay even if you did, because
Yeah,
you didn't know, John.
Yeah. But I'm saying, like, it's not like you're playing,
okay.
It's not like playing Firewatch or playing, Gone Home, which I love those games too, it feels different from that, right? At the same time, it's not something that's based in violence really at all, right? But manages to be, to sometimes make you feel alarmed, or times make you kind of awe-inspired. It can hit different emotions as you go through, right? It's a game that doesn't have the most complicated puzzles ever, but it does reward good detective work as you go on. And, that's just rare right now. And I think like people like this because it feels like an older game, but then it also feels like it's learned from new games, to take all those elements from maybe something that this would feel like, maybe like PS2 era games, right? And saying this is the natural evolution of this. And then, to actually have a physics-based game, because a lot of times when people put physics in games, like unique engines, they kind of just are there to be like, look how cool physics is, or how weird we can do things when we crank up physics to, level 100, right? How weird it is to try to walk. It doesn't ever do those things for the sake of a gimmick. It does it because it's trying to be like, look, this is a space game. And yeah, there's complexity to space, but it also doesn't make it so complex that unless you're someone who is willing to take hours upon hours to learn every little thing, that you're going to, you're just not going to be interested in this game. Like, that's Kerbal Space Program. Like, I had to literally watch videos from a NASA engineer on how rocket science works to fly good in that game. That's not this game. After a couple runs, you're going to, for the most part, have an idea of how the ship works. But then maybe 4 or 5 hours in, you're going to get thrown to some very interesting gravitational loops and all that. And you have to think about how things are moving. And then if you fail, coming back and being like, okay, well, that didn't work. How do I adjust? As you do that, you feel smart and it feels good. And I don't know if there's many games that do this. I really wish I could speak more to actually what goes on at the end of this game, because that's what I really think is why people really like this. Like, when you know what is going on throughout the course of this game, and where it eventually leads to. That's why it's getting the praise I think it is. I don't think it's going to be for everyone. If you're someone who demands action at every turn, this probably isn't going to be for you. If you're someone who likes voice acting, there's no voice acting in this game, or you demand to be told, this is what I do now, this is where I go. I don't think you're going to, again, I think you're going to have problems. Like here, this dude is like figuring out how gravity works in this game.
Well, looks like it's definitely a game on a budget, and they chose an art style that was friendly to that. How does it run?
Runs perfect. I mean, I don't think I ever had frame rate issues at all. Speaking of which, I just showed you the thing I was talking about. That's from Earth.
ER?
Yeah, here.
I'm good.
It's right there.
I don't need to see it. I'd like to crack it open. Never mind.
But yeah, I totally suggest this. If you like these kinds of games, if you're someone who's looking for something different, and you love space, and as I said before, you love things like Majora's Mask is the one Zelda I would reference here, or puzzle games, or just kind of make your own adventure type thing, see what happens and where it leads you to. Where yes, there is a main story and it's very important, but it's not particularly important that you do it immediately or that you have this done within 2 hours or else. It's like, this is going to have a gameplay element to it that is very significant. And it's going to happen regardless of what you do. It's just determining you have to determine how quickly you want to solve these things. But totally recommend it.
I don't think it's a game on a budget.
No. Well, okay. So this game actually started.
Every game is on a budget.
Well, but the way you meant it, I think it looks fantastic.
That's not what I said.
But it sounded like you were saying the game looks like S word.
Nope. No. I said they did a great job picking an art style that's friendly to the budget.
But before that, it just didn't. I think the game is great looking, man.
Yeah, it looks solid.
No, it's not.
Fun fact of this actually started out as the main guy who made this, it was his college, not thesis, but like whatever, dissertation, whatever.
I bet you now you're going to tell me it was a labor of love and all that crap.
Well, he started from there.
Say that, Chris?
He started from there and he showed off an alpha for the final of his project, and then he just kind of kept working on it. And it's been pretty much in development for 5 years now.
Well, I'm holding out my hand. Going to need you, Richard. Okay.
You weren't holding it out.
Well, it's metaphorical.
Yeah.
You're not really going to let out your Richard.
Don't lie to our audience. Look, there's the space.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, the map is pretty awesome. There you can see all the plants and all that.
Giants Deep. Check it out. Sean,
that's the water one.
I saw it.
Giants Deep.
I did not miss
Let's see.
That is the new name for my butthole.
Hey, there's Snowpiercer. That's coming to TV. So cool.
Snowpiercer.
Let's see here.
What are you seeing?
I'm trying to. Okay. Is this where it happens?
Do you have a problem with your Richard? Is there a problem here?
Richard, I would give it probably a solid
8.75. Do it. Just do it.
You know you want to.
I will give it an 8.9.
Wow.
Dang.
Yeah.
Now everybody's just going to be mad at you that you should bump it to a 9.
I don't think I can go to a 9. But because there is some,
because you're Irish.
There's going to be some parts that I think like you have to stick with it. And one of the things that helped me was that I had the Twitch chat early on in this game, like encouraging me and like, hey, well, what about this? What about that? And that really caught my eye and kept me going. So I was very appreciative of that, especially this one girl. She actually came and joined our Discord afterwards. So that was pretty awesome.
Do you remember who it is? We could say hello if you told her to watch listen to the show.
It's
Oh, okay. Well, welcome. If this is if you saw Chris on Monday and now you find yourself,
a couple weeks ago.
Oh, well, whenever the heck, and you realize that we're talking about you right now, welcome. How about that? Does that work? Welcome to the community.
I'm going to need a little more, a little bit more.
I'm so tired of hearing that. In all facets of my life, John.
So much.
So much.
Let me see if I can find.
What are you doing?
I don't know what he's doing.
Because, we're on a podcast with our voices matter. Not so much the things you see.
You care about spoiling this? Then
No.
stop.
Yeah.
Ooh.
What are you doing?
Chris just went, ooh.
Chris,
Oh.
pivot.
What's that?
News.
What's that?
I don't
See,
know.
I can show you all this, but because you
That's pretty.
I don't want to.
Isn't it?
I don't want to be spoiled. I kind of want to play this game.
you're not going to play this.
I kind of want to play this game. That's my shtick.
All right. But
Every
yeah,
time you guys talk about a game, I'm like, oh, I want to play that game.
you're not going to play that game. Took you to get 3 years to get Cuphead.
Cuphead hasn't been out for 3 years.
Okay, 2 years.
Hasn't been out
Barely.
2 years.
I'm still there, though.
Maybe. I don't know.
I can't remember.
Cuphead did not. I remember I showed you Cuphead first.
Get your finger out of my face.
You still
Sir.
haven't. What about Horizon Zero Dawn?
I can't open the game.
Yes, you can.
How convenient for you.
You lifted a
The people spoke.
sir. You moved a washer and dryer this weekend. I'm pretty sure you can open up a case.
Oh, you mean physically open it up? Yes. Yes, I can.
There's loopholes. You can leave the case in the wrapper,
Yeah. And still play the game?
but download it for $19.
Or how about one of my
There you
friends
go.
who still owns the game because they didn't trade it in because of how good it is? Let me borrow the game.
I have it downloaded.
Of course. Hey, speaking of
We're
so
what you call
convenient.
committed.
So convenient, man.
It was, yeah.
It was. I did trade it in though,
Yeah?
but the price was so juicy on the PlayStation Store at one point. I think it was like $15.
Yeah, that edition that
I
you
just-
that you're surprised I don't have.
You do have it.
I have the basic day one edition because that's when I got
Don't
the
have
game.
the day one edition
You can
because
look,
no,
Chris,
you didn't.
Pull up, Chris, right now. Can you see my
No.
my information on Discord? You can see my avatar. You can see the edition of the game I have
Okay.
because it's my picture.
Bring it.
He's gonna pull it up while we
I took
while
a
we
picture.
while we transition
Transition.
to the news.
Transition.
Yeah.
Do you want me to go, look at this photograph?
I don't mind Nickelback. I've said that before. There's a couple songs.
Yeah.
People are twinging when I say that, and that's fine. You should twinge.
I feel like
don't
you
feel the
got
same.
like a tattoo of Nickelback on your left arm.
I don't have a tattoo of Nickelback.
And then you got a tattoo of Guy Fieri on your right arm.
I don't. But Guy Fieri is awesome. You got to find me, man. I'm offline. I'm going to be that guy. There I am. Can you not see the picture bigger?
I don't know.
That's terrible. I don't know. Are we still recording?
Yeah, we are.
Because they might hear John.
That's what John does.
I don't know if that's being picked up or not.
I hope it is. But
yeah.
you want to pivot?
Yeah, man. Well, he's not here. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Hot off the press and straight to your ears. Weekly Games Chat presents the news.
And
News!
It's time for the news.
It's time for us to give you news.
while you're doing
Watch something major happen. 'Cause we're recording a day earlier. If you missed the intro, and watch something just drop.
Well, whose fault would that be?
Let me mine. Actually, that would be not mine, but kind of mine.
it is your fault.
But when I committed to doing what I'm doing, you know what? I'm just gonna dig a hole, and I should stop.
Oh yeah, by the way, I forgot to say, speaking of news, John, you're officially a co-host again.
Oh,
Congrats.
welcome back, John. It's good to have you, sir.
And I almost didn't come today.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
No.
Oh, that'd have been terrible.
But I pictured myself, had we recorded tomorrow, I pictured myself going, guys, TV guy's not here yet.
I was just thinking of that too. I was like, man,
What
that's
if
a
that
good
would
thing
happen?
we did.
Probably would have. I know the guy's going to go, we can't make it out today. I know he's going to do that to me. He's going to do it.
Will you keep me updated on it?
By the minute.
You won't believe this.
I actually had to take the TV off the
mounting bracket.
mounting bracket because he says, I'm not taking it down. It's for
Yeah,
like
for
liability
liability.
stuff. He didn't want to drop it.
Don't you hate when they throw the liability card at
Oh
you?
yeah, because those
I just
Those
imagine.
stands right there.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to those. As far as I know, I threw them away with the box.
You wouldn't have done that, though, because you're smarter than
I would
that.
have done that because I'm dumb.
All right.
I can't test. John's dumb.
All right. Do you want to, what do you want to do?
I think you started last week.
Start it.
All right. I'm gonna
hopefully tomorrow
I'm gonna
you-
kick this off.
Hopefully tomorrow you have a new lease on TV life.
Well, like I said, what I do. Speaking of new lease, there's a new lease on battery life
Yeah.
for the Nintendo Switchy Poo. Nintendo has announced a new version of the original Nintendo Switch that provides a longer battery life, and I like a good battery life.
Yeah.
The new version will offer 4.5 to 9 hours of battery life, as opposed to the original version, which added 2.5 to 6.5 hours. Of course, Nintendo indicated that this does depend on the particular game being played. Breath of the Wild will be playable for updated 5.5 hours on the new. It makes sense
It sure
on the
does.
new console as opposed to 3 hours previously. One of these days, you're going to finish that game. I believe in you, Sean.
I'm going
Switch hardware
I
units with the model number, and ladies and gentlemen, write this down.
This is big.
HAC-001 parentheses 01 end parentheses.
They should have named it Hal.
And serial numbers beginning with XKW will have the extended battery life. But I also think it'll be marked with a different type of packaging going forward.
Well, this is not unlike. I mean, it's slightly different. But remember when I got my PlayStation Pro? I traded my PlayStation Pro in for a new PlayStation Pro when I learned that the PlayStation Pro indeed had gotten a kind of like a quiet upgrade,
Yeah.
with the fan and whatnot.
Yeah.
This is
and it was indicated by the number on the box.
yeah
or something.
on the box. What's in the box?
What's in the box?
So yeah, this is cool.
So we were talking last week.
Yeah.
We're like, we're probably not going to do it, but it's not to say it's not tempting
yeah, it's very
to
tempting.
trade in for that extra battery life.
With a Switch console, you have
It's a big jump.
Well, am I wrong in the sense that? Oh, how am I trying to say this? Your save files are on your cartridges, right?
No,
They're not. They're on the system.
Negative.
they're in this cloud or on the system, depending on.
Oh man, there goes my whole theory. I got to shut up now.
You're dumb.
I'm dumb as a brick because I don't worry about space because I've got like the biggest thing ever that saves stuff on.
For the future.
That's the worst song ever, and I loved it. I loved every second of me doing
I did
that.
enjoy it.
Was it bad?
Yeah, do not play that for Dave Matthews. But speaking of release dates,
That could
Chris,
not have
are you
been.
comfortable?
Yeah.
You should be. I
good.
like this version of Chris. But
You're going to go to sleep
that was one of the worst transitions we've ever done.
deliberately.
Deliberately.
Yeah.
But on purpose.
Yeah.
What?
What?
Luigi's Mansion.
Luigi.
Oh, Luigi. Luigi's Mansion 3 has a release date. Some people are split on this. I'm not. I think it's awesome. You ready for it?
I'm so ready.
Nintendo has announced that Luigi's Mansion 3 will release this October on the 31st. That seems very appropriate for the nature of the title. See, because it's scary and it's Halloween and all that
It's
good
definitely
stuff.
scary. This is Dead Space scary.
The tweet reads, and this will be a quote, "When Luigi's friends go missing on vacation, it's up to our reluctant hero to save them from the ghost in the Last Resort Hotel. Join forces with Gooigi, slam ghosts, and prepare for a spooky treat
Spooky.
when it arrives to Switch on 10/31.
I am stoked for this game, actually.
Yeah, there was some YouTubers that are heavy on the Nintendo side that I watch, and they didn't get this. They didn't quite understand this release date when this news broke. And
Because it's in October.
no, Chris, because it's on Halloween, and kids will be trick or treating, and parents will be with the kids trick or treating, and the games won't get bought. I don't buy that. I think if you own a Switch and you want to play Luigi's Mansion 3, you will go on Halloween and you will buy the game, or you'll buy it the next day and it'll be fine. Do you agree, John?
F yes.
F to the yes. Can we rename that Fess
Yes.
or yes?
I'm very worried about your eye.
What's wrong with my eye?
Nothing.
This one hurts.
It's turning pink.
Looks like it's a little bit swollen on the bottom lid.
Yeah, it hurts.
Almost like it's kind of a sty.
don't
Ooh,
do
that sucks.
But it's something on it's very so. And if it's this eye,
It's right here, and it's
Right
swollen.
in here?
It's swollen.
That's good radio.
right in here,
Yep.
That's where it hurts the most. I think I got punched in my sleep. You laughed. You don't think that can happen?
Did you wake up like that?
Yeah, I woke up and it hurt.
So that has not grown throughout the day.
No.
Like herpes
Well,
does. What?
well, other things might have grown.
Well,
let's not talk about herp.
Speaking of herpes,
Are we done with Luigi?
Yeah. The only thing I don't understand, I don't understand why the game's coming out in October, but at the same time,
where should it come out?
It's called a schedule, Chris.
Not in the fall.
Where should it come out?
I don't know, spring, end of summer.
Spring, end of summer.
Well,
This year?
Yes. Well,
All right, well,
next
spring
year.
already happened, Chris. The game's ready to come out.
I'm saying that
this game
it's
will
coming
sell,
out in the middle of,
Here we go.
Here
we go, John.
when everything else is coming out. And I'm
Should
like,
they wait for the Nintendo Switch Pro?
of course.
To
Give it
release
a release title.
I'm just saying, like, to me, I'm not releasing my game in the fall unless it's truly a blockbuster one. I understand releasing Zelda in the fall. I get that. I understand releasing Mario in the fall and Pokemon in the fall. I don't get why you put this there, because unless you're just someone who only plays Switch, if you're someone who is got multiple consoles and you play multiple games, I think more than likely you're going to go get Call of Duty that week. You might be getting Outer Worlds if you're going for the more off-cut people, but I don't understand why why to put that game out.
John, please handle this for me.
Outside of it just being like, well, we're Nintendo and we need this to be out right now.
I don't think that's it at all.
Okay.
I don't think that's it at all, Chris. When does the Switch Lite come out, John?
It comes out in the fall. I don't know.
I think it's September.
Maybe.
And,
September.
And Pokemon Sword and Shield come out with it.
Right.
So that takes care of September. We're in the end of
Absolutely.
July.
But
I'm not sure what comes out in August.
None of that is relevant to me personally.
Okay.
Because
No, I'm on
software titles like this, regardless of when you release them, they sort of exist. And when I say software titles like this, I'm talking about Nintendo software titles. They sort of exist in a vacuum in which it doesn't really matter. A lot of times you say when you release a game, the general rule is you have a week to really get your sales in. That's never been the case with Nintendo software titles. This game will hit 2 million units sold, and that's really all they need to hit. And that's it. I mean, that's just how software titles for the Nintendo exclusive console titles, that's how they work.
I will be interested to see.
It's not going to be in anyone's way. One title here's not going to be in this title's way. It's just not going to work like that. The way you need to get out of Call of Duty's way.
Right.
It just doesn't work like that with these types of titles.
I will be interested to see where this game lands, because obviously it won't make October's MPD just because it's the last day of the month, right?
You don't know.
Unless it has the most greatest debut ever for a Luigi
Debut?
Mansion. Debut. But I will be interested to see where this lands in November's numbers.
Yeah, it's going to be in the top spot.
You think it's going to be top spot?
It's going to be up there.
You think it's going to outsell Pokemon, huh?
He's biting.
And
See how hard he's biting?
you think
Troll alert! Troll alert! Troll alert!
There's something else coming out that month.
Set
there?
Doom. Set
Doom.
your hook. You got to set your hook.
Okay.
You got to let him take it.
Yeah.
Let the tip of the
Because I
pole
definitely
just,
had the bait right.
just nudge it.
Right?
He's under the water.
Ladies and gentlemen, just point out, John thinks it's going to outsell Doom Eternal. Got it.
Here we go.
Let's see. Did MPD numbers come out and I missed them?
They could have.
Well, they might come out tomorrow.
It'll probably be this week. So we'll get it next week.
Get it next week. Because I feel like a Switch title dropped on ended up on the top 10 this month.
Yeah.
Which one?
I don't remember.
All of them. All of the top 10
I do
lists.
not remember.
Will you talk about Detective Pikachu while you do some research?
All right, baby.
Because we got some milestones to talk about for some
Detective
stuff.
Pikachu has reached a milestone.
What?
Detective Pikachu has become the highest grossing video game movie ever.
Thank you for fixing that.
Yeah, I kind of transitioned.
That was kind of...
With the help of international box office, its worldwide total now stands at $429 million. That includes a U.S. take of 143, topping the previous champion Tomb Raider at 131 million. This is only a record for U.S. box office. It is not clear whether the international title is within their reach.
I wonder what
They're
the...
saying there's not really enough screens that it's showing on at this point to take over the international.
What's the number one international?
I'm guessing it's
video game. I actually think it's Warcraft.
Could be.
If I'm being quite honest,
Could be.
the international video game grossing movie.
And if you remember, ladies and gentlemen,
I think it's
we did not
Warcraft.
hate
It has
Warcraft.
to be. There's no way it's not, right?
Yeah, because I think Warcraft is also on this list, and I don't know why.
Like Warcraft made
a gajillion dollars.
only made like 150 to 200 million here, but it made like something like almost $500 million in China, I want to say.
Well, your number's a little off because we just reported that Pikachu made 143 million here, making it the champion, derailing Tomb Raider at 131.
Oh, okay.
So I think Warcraft came in the 120s, maybe.
Here, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm saying in China, though.
Oh, in China.
China is where it made all its money.
Yeah, it made $784 million in China.
Because they got 2 billion people.
Those numbers are factual, and you can fact check at our news department. At
www.factcheck
news at weeklygameschat.net.
/fact check.
Speaking of another milestone.
Oh, wait, before you go forward,
Did we?
John,
They're out. I guess I missed
yeah.
it.
John Ponder, do you want me to read this real quick? I can just
Why do you want to be in the news so bad when it's our
I
stuff?
got it pulled up.
It's our, he's got to pull up too. You're out the news, man.
You just read one, though.
That's not a good comeback.
I was just going to read this article.
Go ahead, Chris. Steal the show,
This
Chris.
is from VentureBeat. Just so.
What? What is
I'm reading theirs. They say the game industry is still contracting as the current console generation comes to an end. Hardware sales continue to plummet for Microsoft and Sony, and software sales are essentially flat. That's according to MPD, which today released its June report. June tracked spending across video games, hardware, software, and accessories, and game cards reached $959 million. That's 13% lower than a year ago. All categories of spending declined. That said, our top 10 selling games for the month were Days Gone at 10, Mario Kart 8 at 9, NBA 2K at 8, Marvel's Spider-Man at 7, 6 is Super Smash Bros. 5 is Minecraft. 4, GTA 5, of course. 3 is Mortal Kombat 11. 2, Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled. And non-surprising here, the number 1, Super Mario Maker 2. Bloodstain did not make it. Top 20.
Why does he say that with joy?
I don't know. That's why I'm being quiet. We're gonna let his D-ness just.
Did I ever even suspect that Bloodstain would
right?
be?
What was the point of that?
Why is he so mean?
I don't know.
You just mocked my voice.
That's true. All right, so I think you're up, Slugger.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, champ.
Let's get back into the milestones we were going to talk about back to back before
Let's
that
get
happened.
into these milestones.
Shake that off, Sean. Just shake it off. All right. Spider-Man milestone. Marvel Spider-Man now.
only plays new songs tomorrow.
Yeah.
Now, I do too. They're amazing. I like the new songs.
But the new songs you don't want to hear.
I like all of them, so you lose. Spider-Man now holds the record for the best-selling superhero game of all time in the United States, according to NPD. The previous title to hold this record was Batman Arkham City. That is impressive due to the fact that they dethroned a multi-platform title that has held since 2011. So if you do the math in years, that's about 9 of those. The data appears to have been pulled in May 2019. It's gonna be May. But it is hard to tell just how many copies Spider-Man has sold at this point. And that's because we
Tim
don't
Willis
math,
leaves ID.
we don't math well.
Good for you, Spidey.
So, Chris, when are you going to play Spider-Man?
I platinumed its first weekend.
Of course you did. Easy mode.
I just wanted you to say it.
Yeah, I did it.
So,
Easy mode.
Sean,
I don't want to talk anymore.
I hope he plays nothing but Radiohead covers.
so you're done?
I'm done.
So you know who else is done?
Oh, dude, is this a good pivot?
Tim Willits. Tim Willits. Tim Willits is set to leave id Software. Tim Willits has been studio head of id Software since 2012. He announced his departure via Twitter saying, quote, after 24 years, I've decided to leave id Software after QuakeCon. I have been extremely lucky to work with the best people in the industry on truly amazing games. QuakeCon has been an unbelievable part of my journey, and I look forward to seeing everyone at the Gaylord Texan.
We're going to chuckle for no reason now, okay? It's
What's
fine.
the name of the city?
Yes.
No, it's a hotel.
Gaylord is also the name of the city, though.
No, it's not. Gaylord is a hotel chain.
Can you
The
please?
Gaylord is actually in Nashville as well.
Can you guys stop,
Shame.
please?
So, Willits joined id Software in 95, 4 years after the company was founded by John Carmack, John Romero, and others. No disrespect if I left your name off. He joined as a level designer and worked on because they're listening. He joined as a level designer and worked on the first 3 Quake games. In 2004, he was lead designer on Doom 3, which is actually a good game. It's just not Doom. And in 2011, he served as creative director for Rage. We certainly wish Tim Willits well, and thank you for your many years of service at id Software.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, he did a lot of big things for them.
I just read them all.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he saved that
didn't-
company.
We didn't need you to say that. Did he save the company?
Yeah, you could argue. I mean, him
I
and
want
John
you to
McCartney.
make the argument. I don't
The
know.
argument is that they
I will
kind of
accept your argument. I just don't know.
the argument is that, towards the late 90s and such into the early 2000s, they kind of fell off in the sense of quality and what they were putting out there, right? They had certain Doom sequels that were mixed, is the best way to say. He came in with, what was it? Not the original Doom, but the Doom that preceded that. And then, took a risk and did Rage, but then was the main guy behind, Doom as far as when they did 2015.
I'm so confused.
Yeah. But no, yeah, whenever they did Doom as in the relaunch in 2016.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he played a big part of that. And now Doom Eternal looks like it's poised to be their best game in
It's my game of the year.
already.
Yeah.
That's a fair point. We matter, Chris.
I don't understand what that means.
Like we talk about other people's opinions on games, like ours matter. We are Weekly Games Chat guys,
We're the only.
and that was John's game of the year. That matters, is what that means.
No, it's not out yet.
Yeah. See,
No,
that
Doom
was the
was.
joke.
No, but Doom Eternal is already my game of the year. That's
Yeah.
what I said.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
You
saying.
should listen.
I am.
You're not listening. Put down your red phone.
Well, I'm getting the Twitter ready because it's getting close.
I love you.
So Doom Eternal.
You're up, Spike.
I can't read everything because Chris is also not paying attention.
Chris, can you scroll a bit? Yeah, just tweak.
Okay, so because we report facts, we've been telling you GameStop
Jeez.
has been having some issues. So here we go. GameStop goes retro. We have reported here at Weekly Games Chat that GameStop has had quite the difficult year, and if you paid attention to gaming news in general, you would also have seen that. While GameStop has made remarkable adjustments to their business over the years, it may be finally winding down. I hope not. And if you've listened in the past, we don't want that to happen. GameStop has announced a strategy to turn some stores into, quote, unique experiences.
Yeah.
Hashtag go there and enjoy unique experiences. That's the worst hashtag ever. Together, GameStop and r/GA are developing and pitching, but they're piloting new and streamlined physical store concepts, introducing new ways for gamers to try new titles before they buy them. That was a quote. They want to create a hands-on, collaborative environment that offers experiences to sell games. Time will tell if this new strategy is the answer. I, Sean of Weekly Games Chat, am not sure it is.
You know what it reminds me of?
Makes sense.
Remember when we used to go to Movie Stop? Remember when that existed?
Yeah.
And remember, like, Movie Stop had for first couple of years and such, it was just nothing but there was the old DVDs that you could go buy that were used from everyone, and there was like a wall of new stuff, mainly Blu-ray, right? And they always had plenty of copies, and whenever they did Black Friday, they'd have great sales for pretty much the latest stuff. And then all of a sudden, in its last year or two, it completely pivoted and became this thing where, yes, it still had DVDs and Blu-rays, but now they were selling tons of memorabilia for fandoms. And like pop culture stuff like Doctor Who and Marvel,
It was very
all
expensive.
all that
stuff.
came in like from different degrees.
That's
like
important.
some of it was just pop culture stuff. Like, they had those unicorn masks and all that. That's what this reminds me of, is like you're saying like, well, we can't do this through the usual means that we've been doing it, aka new game sales and used game sales. We have to find something else to get people in here. And it may provide a little bit of a burst for a little while, but to me, it's just one more step towards, a natural decline where I'm not going to say they're going to go under, but I think it's foolish right now to think that in 5 years that they will likely have the same number of stores that they have right now unless something changes drastically very soon. Nothing on that? All right.
Well, I read that there was going to be, they're obviously going to go, when I read retro, that they're going to try to get old stuff in there and do kind of like a hybrid store. But I also thought it was going to be more set up to almost like host tournaments.
Yeah. That is accurate. It's going to be an experience. You go in.
It's not going to be quite like the movie stop.
It's going to be like an experience boutique.
Yes.
The kind of thing that, let's be honest, if the three of us walked by, we'd walk into the store.
Yeah.
Whether that is impactful or not, whether that is impactful to the bottom line is the question. My guess is no. Chris's guess is no. Your guess is anyone's guess.
I don't know if it's going to work.
Yeah.
If they follow the model that the aforementioned movie stop did, because everything in that store was ridiculously expensive.
But even then, like, there are other ones before. What was that other place we had for a little while?
It doesn't matter because
was over. It was right by movie stop.
Yeah, that's where
Remember
I bought Alan Wake from. It was
and
I think
like,
it was called like Retro Games, or it was something like that.
Like, they were big on that too. Like, they had new stuff and they were really big in leaning into the retro stuff, and that place is no more. And that obviously could be because of business decisions outside of that. But, to me, like I said, it may be a momentary gain, but if they don't find some way to pivot somewhere else with this and get the company doing something else than what it is, I don't see it working.
If I were them, and I'm not a CEO of a publicly traded company, nor do I sit on any board, it seems like the natural transition for GameStop is to transition into game development with a Steam-like store attached to it. I think they should go into the publishing business, and they should, if they want to preserve some degree.
That Sea of whatever it was.
Sea of whatever it was. Abzu? Yeah. Was it Abzu?
No, it wasn't Abzu.
I've got it. It was the girl on the boat.
Sea of something.
Yeah.
No.
I've got it. It was actually a little fantastic title.
Mm-hmm.
And then they published, what is that? It was that old school Mickey Mouse mocking. It was a horror game.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Bendy yes. Or something like that. So they've published a couple of things, but I think they really need to go all in on publishing, and I think if they want to preserve their retail, they need to go into a digital storefront the way Steam operates as a possibility.
I just can't see that working now, though.
That's it's like they need to start now if they want to preserve any type of.
Because, like, the Challenger, people have been waiting for that Challenger. So a couple of years ago, they could have, and maybe it might have worked, right? But now it's like you feel like Epic has finally captured that, like, where they are a big enough company that did the right things to at least get them a foothold, right? Like, they feel like that foot is down, and while they are definitely not as big as Steam or as powerful as Steam yet, they're not going anywhere anytime soon. So now you have to think, like, if they go in that environment, now you're not just competing against Steam, you're competing against Epic, which is a hard proposition. It's not fun for them. I got some shares of GameStop. You guys want to buy?
Do you really?
No.
Am I up?
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of something that's yet to be determined.
Okay.
If I'm being honest.
Okay.
Further Stadia info and feedback, and by feedback, the following new segments as well. That's what I meant by feedback. Google Stadia Director of Product, Andriy Doronovich. That's pretty good, wasn't it? Tried to clarify some confusion on the upcoming product Stadia Pro. She has indicated that Pro subscribers will be able to get one free game a month, quote, give or take. Doronovich clarified that
I think it's Doronochev.
Man, that's like I crisped that one.
Yeah.
Doronichev clarified that to me. Let me clarify that it's Doronichev.
Hold on, let me call my mom.
It felt so
that
good.
checks out. That Russian checks out.
It felt good to say it. Clarified that to mean there might be some months with more than one game or no game at all. The $9.99 subscription will include access to 4K resolution, 60 frames, 5.1 surround sound, and a free game per month, give or take.
Well, because your median is going to be one game a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So their goal is to give you 12 games a year.
Now, whether or not you get them all in the first month,
or just dump it to you on December.
Yeah.
It's going to be funny when it's like your free game next month and it's going to be some little indie title that doesn't even need 4K or anything like that. Doesn't need a powerful PC.
I mean, I'm not going to make a big deal about the free game thing because I'm being quite honest with you. There were many months on the PlayStation Plus and the Xbox Gold Store when you got your free game. It was a kind of a meh. Now they've tightened that up recently, and everybody who's look.
What?
There have been times where the games are really.
Was that a quote?
They've been like, I've looked at it and I went, really?
Yeah, I mean, the way I look at that stuff is, and I'm kind of okay with it here, assuming that I adopt this at some point. You know, I'm paying $59 a year to be given, you know, maybe a handful of games that I'm actually interested in playing, and that's still a good deal. That's still a good deal. I don't have to download every single thing, every single bit of shovelware that it spits out at me every month. If I get Borderlands Handsome Collection and maybe 2 or 3 other titles throughout the course of that year that interest me, that's well worth $59.
Yeah.
I guess
I'll let you guys know when I get my Founders Edition.
How's he about to
I think the bigger thing that's like,
he's about to disagree with this.
Yeah,
well, the bigger thing that goes on with it though is versus those other two, right? Is that I think you're paying primarily for the 4K, right? So it's either you're going to be going out. Well, that's what the biggest benefit of the $9.99 is that you're going to be able to stream 4K with 60 frames and all that. That's why you're paying for that outside of getting your one free game. Because if you're going all in on this, you're buying games through Stadia, I would imagine, because you're going to want to play new things, and you're having that for there. And the question is, what do you do when at the same time something like Xbox or PlayStation, you're getting that exact same thing for when you buy the game, and you don't have to pay $9.99. And for them, the benefit is then the $9.99 is just a plus. Like, right, your $9.99 for Xbox Live or PlayStation Live is going to
thing. It's not a real thing.
Yeah, whatever. PSN is going to PlayStation Plus, whatever the hell, is going to what? It's mainly going to play online, and then on top of that, you're getting free games, just like this is.
It's not $9.99 a month though.
Well,
It's not?
yeah, you can get cheaper, or you can get $60 a year, or even though,
If you buy it a year, yeah, it's.
But the
if you
bigger
pay monthly, it's $14.99 a month.
But even then, the bigger thing, well, you're thinking of, well, yeah, you are right on that.
We just go.
The bigger one, though,
for
is
the love of God.
Hey, man. Hey.
Yeah. Jeez. Such a D.
Hey, that's not necessary. That's
And
not
you know
necessary.
It is, and you know
It's
it.
love and cookies.
But I think the bigger thing is
it's love
that
and cookies.
the bigger thing is, like, again, you think of something like Games Pass where, okay, that's $9.99. For $15 a month, you can get 100 games in
that
4K. And
100 games.
100 games that are on rotation, and on top of that, a free game, or I'm sorry, multiple free
Chris,
games per month.
Did you do all this just so you could just
No.
talk about how
do you know
amazing
how-
Game Pass is?
Like I literally.
I mean, like, to me, I think it is a lie when
you peeking?
when you're looking at this
Little bit?
and say that is not something to consider for the future, because PlayStation's going to consider
Look,
it, and they're probably going to put something out there.
no, I think everybody's considering
Yeah.
it for the future. I have no problem with it. I'm just not buying it now.
I don't know.
I'm really shocked that you said all that to market Microsoft. I really am.
Really?
But I shouldn't be because
I mean,
anybody.
I
can see that
marketed
coming.
Sony too on that.
Did you?
Yeah,
Did you?
because I think they're both better deals.
Okay.
It's
my turn.
Do we want to do these? And it's not because
I was already going to bring that up. I was going to just do it naturally because I'm smart. ish.
Oh, Switch.
You're hostile this evening. It's
No,
about love.
no, not
and
Switch.
Cookies.
What is it? What are you talking about?
What?
You'll see, Chris. Porting the Stadia. We're going to continue the Stadia news.
Or do you want to do that? See, you're dumb.
No, I'm not. We talked about Stadia. Let's talk about Stadia. Do you want me to talk about Kojima then Stadia? I mean, it does fit technically. Is that what you want me to do?
He's technically right on this.
He's technically wrong.
You're what you.
Which one do you want me to say the word Kojima or porting next?
As Sean would say, you do you, man.
Do you, boo? I'm going to say porting, okay? And then you're going to say Kojima.
You're going to make me read that one.
I'll read it for
I'm
you.
just kidding.
Do it. I'm kidding.
I'm going to read Kojima.
I don't care.
They're like, what are they talking about?
you doing?
Say the news, man. All right. Kojima comments on the future of gaming because, Stadia will be the future of gaming.
That shouldn't have said comments. I meant to say rambles.
We should make a gentleman's bet for that.
Kojima commented on the future of gaming and streaming at a storytelling panel at Comic-Con 2019. Quote, gaming will be streaming too. In the future, games and movies will come closer in a similar category.
Isn't this nonsense?
Therefore, I think we're going into an era with a lot of possibilities.
Wow.
It will not just be interactive or non-interactive. There will be something in between as well. Therefore, in the next 5 years, everything will change. Movies, music, games, how we distribute, how we share with each other will definitely change as art. End quote.
Isn't this the most garbled mess you've ever heard?
It probably
I just wanted you to
makes
hear
sense.
it was so,
It makes sense.
oh my God.
What is he saying? He's basically saying on here, he's saying games will be streaming too. Yeah, they will be. Stadia. And he's saying that
Why are you
basically
screaming?
they're going to be the same as how music and movies are now. Music and movies are way more accessible than any point. I can pull out my phone when I hear something. Sean saw me do this last week when we were at dinner. I pull out my phone and I Shazam something because I like the way it sounds, and I download the album literally right there for free because I have Apple Music.
Plug.
And now he's saying probably in the next 5 years, and it's not crazy to think of it, games will be the same way where you can literally stream them anywhere, play them whenever, have them accessible at any moment. You can sit down and play them in your living room for hours, or you could sit down in a cafe during lunch and play them for 5 minutes. And it doesn't matter if they are console quality or if they are mobile quality. That's what he is saying right there.
The question was not whether he was right or wrong. It's obvious that he's right.
Yes.
The problem was
Kojima's always right.
The problem was that you walk out of there going, did Kojima just basically regurgitate what everybody already knew was coming? That's all I'm saying. He didn't say anything to make you really think about anything possible.
Yeah,
he told us
Chris, he says something's going to be interactive or non-interactive and then something in between.
it's like Drax
Yes.
from Guardians of
I
the
mean-
Galaxy talking about, just...
If you
Okay.
can't see how that's kind of funny, I'm sorry you missed that. But I mean, of course, when he says things are going to change in 5 years,
Yeah.
of course things are going to change in 5
I mean,
years.
I'll chalk up the rest of it being he's Japanese.
And there probably is a lost in
speaking Japanese to
translation
interpret.
thing.
That's not appropriate, Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm uncomfortable.
But that's it. Yeah, he was all over Comic-Con. I saw him all week.
Was Jeff Keighley
Someone,
there with him?
no,
Taking
someone
selfies with him?
actually on our,
Yes, actually, I think
someone
you're
on
right.
our Discord actually made the point, said like, is he is secretly Keanu Reeves, Hideo Kojima secretly Keanu Reeves because they look very similar.
Yeah,
They don't.
they kind of do.
They don't.
They do.
They don't.
Pull it up, man. Look at Keanu with glasses.
From a headshot to headshot, sure.
Yeah.
But Keanu's like a gajillion feet tall.
well, he hides it when he's on stage.
This
That's
was
Kojima.
this was an absolutely horrible meme I saw, but it was a side by side. Who's the guy that plays Kylo Ren? Adam Driver.
Adam Driver.
Adam
Oh,
Driver,
with,
right next to Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, they do look
and
like.
but the quote said, "Adam Driver looks like somebody tried to draw Keanu Reeves from memory." Sorry, you picturing it? Isn't that hilarious? But
I mean,
he's not.
because comedy's funny.
It's just it was so wrong, but so funny.
Deep.
Deep thoughts by Sean.
Speaking of deep thoughts,
Comedy's funny.
Ubisoft recently commented on porting to Stadia. Ubisoft has claimed that it's porting that
Reset. And in 3, 2, 1, go, John.
Ubisoft has claimed that porting its games to Stadia won't break its bank.
This is it.
You broke my bank.
Derail.
And will be relatively cheap to do for now. Ubisoft CEO Yves Guillemot told investors that R&D funds, R&D, Sean, is
Research and development. Yes.
Funds to port to these cloud-based services is, quote, not that high. He acknowledged that costs could go up in the future. Quote, quote, the extra cost to port to make sure the games work well on Stadia is not that high. It's part now of our pipelines. I love a good pipeline, and we will and we have a good relationship with Stadia to make sure it is profitable for us. Quote, now we are not speaking about 2.0 types of games that will need more work, and this we will see more in the future. It's a direct quote. I checked it. See more in the future action. Jesus. Okay. So look at Sean.
Terrible. Okay.
Well, he has I mean, you've heard him talk
He's
on
French.
stage. It's just kind of a
Right? He's like up there.
He is French.
It's like a lost in translation thing. Kind of like Kojima.
We can still laugh at it. Things that are funny to us, it's okay to laugh at them, right?
no.
I'm not going to be that guy who can't laugh at something I think's funny, Chris.
Ooh.
He's saying it's cheap for now, but projects from the ground up
You never know. Prices
are
could increase.
gonna cause more financial. I will say that they actually had a bit of a loss this year. Still made profit, but they're down on profits this year.
Who? Ubisoft?
Ubisoft.
Well, they had to buy out that company. So
That might have had something to do
They
with
didn't,
it.
they didn't have to do that.
they had to.
They didn't have to.
Oh, yes, they had to.
They didn't have to.
Otherwise, it would have been Ubisoft would become EA Junior.
You're not understanding. They didn't have
Maybe THQ Nordic will pay him,
to. Yeah, I think so.
buy him.
Is it my turn? Is this it?
In theory.
Is this it?
It
Yeah.
might be it.
It's it.
Finally this week.
You were supposed to find like a deep voice.
Finally this week.
No, but like an effects of a deep voice.
I did twice. I got no. This whole entire show's been off. You ruined it.
The show's been fantastic.
You ruined it.
You're over there in Chris's world and you think things are not right because we're
You
not.
ruined it.
Because I'm not agreeing with you or whatever. It's fine.
You ruined it.
Super Monkey Ball. You remember that game? Banana Blitz HD has been announced. Originally released on Nintendo Wii in 2006, Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz HD will release on Nintendo Switch. That was terrible. Help me out, John.
And I'm the one
you.
marketing, huh?
On Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One on October 29th, 2019, and on Steam this winter.
I love a good Steam.
Hey, my new dryer has a Steam option. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it does.
The HD version will contain 100 single-player stages and 10 multiplayer minigames alongside enhanced graphics, updated controls, and online leaderboards for the first time in series history.
I want to know what update to the controls they're really going to make.
All of them. Decathlon mode.
A is
motion
now B.
control. It's
B is
motion
now
controls.
C.
There's motion control.
Yeah, that's a good point. Man. That was a good point.
They got motion controls on this.
That's good. That's not a good point.
Well, not on your Switch Lite.
Decathlon mode will also be available. That will include competition in 10 mini camps in a row.
That should have been mini games.
Okay.
I don't know why I said mini camps.
That's probably fine because you're thinking
You're
about
thinking
football.
camp?
The game will retail for $39.99. And that's it. That's it. That's all the news.
Good price.
Yeah.
It's a good price.
I never played any of the monkey balls. Have you? The most popular one I think was on the GameCube.
It was called like Super Monkey Ball.
It's been around forever.
Meanwhile,
I believe friend of the show, Mike Slade, he liked the monkey ball, I think.
sounds like something you.
We'll find out. He'll say something pretentious on Twitch about me giving out wrong facts or
Aw.
something. You know how
Yeah.
he does with his
Yeah.
stupid Twitch handle.
Yeah, he's a
Twitch?
He's a.
And when I say Twitch, every time I meant Twitter.
You are dumb.
I am dumb as a brick.
Anyways, you want to wrap this up?
Never.
Yes.
That's not what you say.
Just to be safe. Email.
Electronic mail in the future.
Is that how that went?
Yeah,
This
man.
was obnoxious.
I came out the gate a little struggling right then.
Yeah, you did. If you want to write your thoughts and opinions in. How many times do I got to do this to you? If you want to write your thoughts and opinions in.
Thoughts and prayers. I got
Thoughts
it.
and prayers.
That's 2 weeks in a row I slipped because I'm trying to read the emails.
I hate it when I hate slippage.
I don't. It's fine.
Then you can write them to weeklygameschat@gmail.com. That's weeklygameschat@gmail.com, just like Ameni did. Ameni. I went with Ameni.
Yeah, but it's Amani. So
Y'all know that.
yeah, I do.
You can't prove it.
He's going to write in next week and say, it's Amani. Chris, you're dumb.
Watch him go, "What up, Bob?" And then I'll be like, actually, it looks like that's his name. Right there in the email.
He might have just done a tweak on his name.
Okay.
You never know.
But he says, "Sup, guys? What's up? Great job on keeping the podcast always entertaining.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I have been thinking about emailing again for a while, but never really did it. After listening about Daniel, I was inspired to write up also. The first question I have is about the new Dragon Ball Z game. As someone who really likes Dragon Ball, I cannot express my disappointment enough that they won't make a game taking place in the original series. Are you talking about actual Dragon Ball?
No, the new game they showed out at Nintendo, the open world Dragon Ball game, I think, is what he's talking about.
Yeah, I think that's still Dragon Ball Z. I wonder if he's talking about Dragon Ball, which predated Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah,
where
makes sense.
Goku's a little kid.
What?
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Spoilers ahead. I don't need to see Krillin die for the 100th time, no matter how awesome it is. It is fun to watch him get owned. My second question is not related that much to gaming, but I was interested to know about what you guys want in Star Wars Episode 9. As someone who loved Star Wars and loves and knows everything about it, I hope they add Ahsoka Tano.
Ahsoka
Tano.
My
Sorry.
God.
And Ezra from Star Wars Rebels, as it would make sense considering how the Rebels TV show ended. Rebels also introduced time travel into the Star Wars universe, and Anakin is the chosen one. So what if Anakin went back in time and stopped him from killing Windu? Then again, I know Disney will never do this because Star Wars has become like Destiny 2 and wants to make content for the general audience and not the hardcore fans. That's probably true to some extent.
Right.
Also, is The Witcher 3 that good? I can buy one more PS4 game, and I'm picking between God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn, or Witcher 3. Jeez, get all three of them. Is there other games I should be looking at? Thank you for reading this. Sorry about the long email. P.S. You kids need to watch
your kid. He's talking
your
to
kid
me.
needs to watch The Last Airbender. I believe he's just talking about Avatar. The show is the pinnacle of cartoons and has an awesome soundtrack.
Yeah.
I agree.
We were talking about
What the heck do you get when you have to choose between those three?
Of those three, I would say if you love action games,
Stop
you
doing
get,
if you this, if you this, if you this.
If you like that, then get God of War. If you want something that's got action modes, a little bit more open world, get Horizon Zero Dawn. And if you love RPGs, magic and all that kind of stuff, and deep storytelling, then Witcher 3 is the way to go.
There's also deep storytelling and magic in God of War 3.
Yeah, but
I'm just saying, I would narrow it down to God of War or Horizon.
So he's playing God of War 3, not God of War, by the way?
Did I say that?
Yes, you did.
I'm sorry.
You are dumb.
No, I'm just excited. That's all it is. I'm just an excited man.
Dragon Ball Z, it would be cool if they made it. I don't know if they're doing the new Dragon Ball Z universe, the relaunch or whatever you're talking about. I'm guessing you're speaking about Dragon Ball. It would be fun to do Dragon Ball, but I don't know if they could do a game like they're doing with the Dragon Ball Z one here. I think it would be a lot more funner to do here is the classic Dragon Ball tournament, and you could pick between Yamchu or or Yamcha, sorry, and Goku,
Are we
Krillin,
ordering
whoever.
sushi? What's happening right now?
Anyway, as far as the other ones, I just want to see a good conclusion, and I really hope they don't retcon episode 8.
I don't. They're not going to retcon it because Disney won't
Redcon all of it.
bringing
All of it.
Here's the thing: the Rebels took place during like the beginning of. They were the
Clone
beginning
Wars,
rebels. Right? No, they were the beginning rebels of A New Hope.
Yeah.
I don't know how, like, Ahsoka at this point would be very old, right? Like, as old as, like, how Han and Leia looked.
That's if she's still alive.
But her race may age differently.
I haven't used the Face app to show me
How old Ahsoka's going to
how
be.
she was going to look.
Ezra would make sense unless he, like, went off and died or something. I don't know.
Well, I don't really know if they've ever revealed the lifespan of the race of
Yeah.
Ahsoka Tano, so it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
You never know.
But if she showed up, well, in a way, the Rebels cartoon aged her to a degree based on how she was in the Clone Wars cartoon.
Yeah.
So
I think Rey is a Sith Lord. Ahsoka comes over and cuts her in half, like in the first 5 minutes. And then Palpatine resurrects Anakin, and he
worst movie ever.
and Anakin blows up the Death Star because he never got to do that.
He's like, Luke, give me that X-Wing. I need things to be done right.
Because you screwed it
I
up.
think
You blew it up, but I can blow it up more better.
I have no idea what's going to happen. If I was going to take a stab, though, I think there'll be the two battles, right? Like there'll be the physical battle between Kylo and what's her face,
It's so predictable.
and then on the other side, like there'll be that reveal, I guess, that hey, yes, Jedi Masters go and can become one of the Force. Why can't Sith Lords, right? Why can't they tap into a dark side that allows them to continue to live on? So maybe you have this battle that takes place spiritually between Darth Sidious and old Luke Skywalker.
The only thing that I want in Star Wars Episode 9 is for me to be in the theater on release day with my nachos, a large soda pop, possibly a popcorn and some candy.
I want to see John's face when they replace Billy D. Williams with a young or old version of Donald Glover as
They're not.
Lando.
They already did that.
Yeah,
You say that, but when George Lucas remakes this, he's gonna put Donald Glover in.
But they already did that.
yeah, it's
They're gonna
done.
do
You ever
it again.
seen Solo?
What are you doing, Chris?
God, you're lame.
God.
What's the next letter?
Yeah.
I'm saying, but now he'll be old, so he'll just be old Donald Glover.
You didn't see Solo.
Amani, thanks for the write-in,
I
man.
went for the opening.
Appreciate it, bro.
Next up, Jason writes in.
Oh my God.
And not really much to say here, but he just says, not mine, but relative to your interest. Basically, someone is recreating Dark Souls and Mario Maker 2, and the project is now complete. I was actually looking at
Virus.
this the other day.
Infection alert. You have been infected, sir.
But yeah, he's remade, like someone went through and they remade all these classic Mario, like in theme classic things of, Dark Souls 2. So this is supposed to be Fire Shine. Just crazy. It is cool that
Isn't there a rule that you have to actually beat your own level in order to submit it?
Yeah. Is there a Reddit user that they could look that up on, or should they just look up Dark Souls Reddit? Mario Maker 2?
Just go out there and look. I've seen it in a lot of places the last couple of days.
I mean, you could add it to our Twitch account real quick. Penny, that's enough.
Really good art.
What's
though.
funny is that was John.
That was me.
Yeah, it does look good.
Yeah. But that's there for you to check out, just like our Twitter page on Sean's unmuted phone.
I'm good. At Platinum, our friend Platinum, what's up? Put a question out there. What is the one game you're most embarrassed to still have sitting in your backlog? His was easily Horizon Zero Dawn until they started it a week or so ago. We had a reply to that email. It's very interesting. It says at Weekly Games Chat replied to that. It says, I bet I know Sean's answer. And that was from none other than our very own Chris.
You can't prove that was me.
It says dash Chris.
I think my most
John did
embarrassing.
that, and he lied.
My,
it was me.
My most embarrassing one, I think, is Witcher 3, to be honest.
My most embarrassing one right now is not completing Breath of the Wild. I hate that. It's not Horizon Zero Dawn because I don't know what I'm missing, if that makes sense.
You're missing so much.
Hell Teacher Loki tweeted that they could not thank the following people enough for making their daily work a little more bearable. There were 4 Twitter handles, and one of those was Weekly Games Chat. Thank you so much. We appreciate fine folks like yourself that take the time to also listen to what we put out. So thank you very much. Without you, we are nothing. We would lose, and we would have a good day, sir.
Thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and prayers. Let's see if there's anything else. I'm getting hungry, and I'm ready for Chris to say what number this episode is.
It's 214.
I asked if anybody was picking up. It was Friday. If anybody was getting Ultimate Alliance 3 on the Switch, that's a Switch exclusive. At Raymond Price said definitely getting it after work today. I'm going to go ahead and like that now since I didn't the other day. Write in and tell us how you like it, Ray. Good friend of the show, Josh, World of Warcraft expert, said that they just wanted it to be better than this second one. I don't know what that means because I never
Second
played
one
this.
sucked.
Yeah, apparently it sucked per Josh.
Yeah. Per me too.
At Maddie, Osawaski, looks really good, but I don't have a Switch. And then our friend at 4Play Luke, was thinking of playing it for their channel. If you did, I want to hear about that as well. That's always nice. Me and John are thinking about picking it up. We shall see. Even though I tweeted that we were for sure picking it up because I'm hilarious. We did have one follow. We still are pending for at Cherubus. Just like us. Like, let us follow you. At Alfred Lionheart. Thank you for the follow. Following you back.
It's like the love child of Alfred the Butler and
it's really funny. Alfred says, not sure if I needed one. Speaking of his Twitter account, I think this is what he means, but, check their timeline for unadulterated opinion on life. First one I see was about 10 hours ago at this point, and it was a nice sunset that Alfred put out there.
Aw.
Very nice. Thank you for the follow, sir.
God
Followed
love
you
your
back.
life.
I think we should make t-shirts that say, thanks for the follow, following you back. I do.
Or bumper sticker.
Yeah.
That makes more sense because like cars follow and stuff.
It does.
But that's it for me. Thank you so much. And I'm going to pivot this fine podcast back to Chris.
This has been episode 214 of Weekly Games Chat. If you like the show, subscribe to us on iTunes or whatever podcast service whatever podcast service you like to use, and you will get a new episode every Wednesday for your enjoyment, even if some people go to see Dave Matthews, so we don't record on Tuesdays. If while you're there, you want to help people find the show because you say, I enjoy the show so much, so I want to do what I can to spread that love on other people.
Yeah.
Make sure you give us a rating on there. Helps people find the show, and then they can hate on us. Mainly me and John, I think. I don't know.
You guys want to go to Fazoli's?
I almost said the F word. Anyways, if while you're also there, you say, man, I really wish I could see what these guys' thoughts or prayers and opinions are, you could do so by going over to Twitter, where you'll see Sean post something every now and then me something every now and then. And more importantly, you'll see a link to our Discord page where people post consistently, nonstop, about everything.
All the things. It's a community. Come join it. We love you.
So make sure you join in that. Or if you don't want to go through Twitter to get to the Discord, you can literally just open Discord and search Weekly Games Chat, and you can join our community, and you will become a Richard very quickly. As in, whenever I see that you join the community, you will become a Richard. We didn't have one this week because we record on Monday night instead of Tuesday night. But normally, we stream Monday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you can catch that on Twitch, twitch.tv/weeklygameschat. And of course, if you want to write in your thoughts and opinions, do so by writing weeklygameschat@gmail.com. That said, Sean, John, fun episode.
As always.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's weird when we do this on Monday. We used to do this Monday all the time.
It didn't make any sense.
Yeah. We used to do it on Sunday.
Which was less sense. If you think about it.
Yeah. But I will simply say game on to you, Sean.
Game on, Christopher.
Only my mom calls me that.
I know.
Game on, John.
Game on, Chrissy Poo.
Only joking. Game on, John. I really hope your TV gets better.
Yeah, me too. That'd be nice.
It'd be good.
Yeah.
Your mom's box!
Why do I sound like a ghost that was coming back from the grave to haunt you?
Peace out, everybody. Have a good week.
Thug life.